Hey guys, Stefan here. Wanted to make a quick video about some developments we're seeing in the Bcash camp with Roger Ver. So Roger Ver is basically diversifying his shilling efforts now. I think it looks like really it's being stemmed from a sense of more desperation. And so now, let me just change into screen share so you can see this tweet which he tweeted out recently 7 a.m. yesterday, and basically he's now trying to make this argument that Bitcoin, it's full block, high fee, it's not going to work, it's not going to maintain the market share, and by market share he's referring to Bitcoin dominance here. And so the funny thing is now that he's not just shilling Bcash, he's now starting to shill some of the other shitcoins as well. So Ethereum, Dash, Monero, Zcash, so on. So there's some real problems with that. That really, if you look at the actual figures in terms of how much are people buying Bcash versus Bitcoin, well, let's have a look at the volume. You can see here, Bitcoin's volume is around 4.4 billion in 24 hours. Bcash, 475 million, right? And then also the price, right? So as I make this video, Bitcoin's price 6,400, Bitcoin Cash 759. So it's like Bitcoin is way up here, Bcash is down here, and he's trying to say, oh look, it's all over for Bitcoin. It just doesn't, it seems very, very disingenuous to suggest that this coin that is 0.12% or whatever of Bitcoin is gonna now come and overtake Bitcoin, right? So part of the argument that Roger Ver was making is that, oh look, Bitcoin's dominance in terms of as a percentage of the overall market dominance is falling, but that's not just really a reflection of Bitcoin failing. It's a reflection really of all these altcoins and all these scams that have come into the space and have captured so many people's attention. So if you look here on the edge recently, now you can sort of see that Bitcoin dominance is rising back up again as we're coming into a bit of a crypto bear market. So now Bitcoin dominance is around 42.8% of the overall crypto market, and Bitcoin Cash is 4.9%. So again, what is his argument here? It's just not even really making any sense. Yeah. So the other thing to consider is that now these numbers are from a little while ago, but they are still broadly accurate. Is Nick Szabo basically came out and said Bcash is centralized stock puppetry, and he was referring to some of the statistics by this bloke Sandre Bielis, and he's basically saying, look, of the 1,200 nodes, 543 contain the organization Alibaba, meaning it's highly centralized. If basically Alibaba is hosting 54% of the Bcash nodes, you're centralized. That's a problem. So you got to consider that as well. Now, in terms of transaction usage, there's this website here called TX Highway. Let me just reload it. And so basically, you can see this is like a transaction visualizer. And basically, you can see here along the bottom, there are many transactions going on Bitcoin, and very few on Bcash. So Bcash is basically like a 32-lane highway that very few people are even using. Now compare this, look on fork.lol, and you can see the transactions per block. Let's see. So BTC versus BCH. This is the average number of transactions per block over the last 7 days, 1,228. For Bcash, 99. It's literally 12 times as many. And don't forget, that's not accounting for things like transaction batching. That's not accounting for things like off-chain transactions, let's say from a Zapper wallet to a Zapper wallet, from a Coinbase wallet to a Coinbase wallet, or Lightning transactions, which would be batched up across, there could be thousands of transactions happening just across one payment channel, which would require one on-chain opening and one closing on-chain transaction to close that payment channel. So you've really, to people who are in the know, you can see that this is basically just lies. It's just misrepresentation. What else? Yeah. So the other thing is just consider that. Oh, one sec. Let me find this. So basically, One of the other interesting points that came up in response to Roger Vere's tweet was by Grubels. He's saying, look, with 500 transactions per second per Lightning payment channel, we can do over 3 million transactions per second using the Lightning Network. So Roger Ver is just pumping his bags in desperation. So you've just got to be aware of that and understand that they're just getting desperate and they're starting to try and reach for anything that might possibly work as an argument against Bitcoin. And it's sad because Roger Ver back in 2013 was a big advocate for Bitcoin, but he grew too attached to a certain conception of Bitcoin as everything being on the native layer rather than understanding Bitcoin as a settlement layer. And this is causing him to now become a bit of an enemy of Bitcoin and start to really try and ramp up his attacks on Bitcoin, despite Bitcoin succeeding better than it ever has before. So hopefully that was useful for you guys. Please give me a like on the video if that was interesting for you. Thanks.